This is a pilot test run as we're gearing up for transitioning to our podcast counterpart. Our past episodes will be re-recorded and automatically published to major podcast providers. This test run will only occur on this edition.
State of the VTuber community.
State of the VTuber community is powered by YouTube, and soon by Spotify for podcasters. You can listen to our editions starting August 2024 on major podcast providers, with more to come soon. This is the State of the VTuber community.
State of the VTuber community.
Where we talk news and information regarding VTubers, VStream, and beyond.
VTubers, VStream, and beyond.
Presented by the beloved Moon.
VStream.
Welcome to another test run of the State of the VTuber community, April edition, giving us no time to spare for this part as we are jam-packed with news and topics to be discussed for this month. My name is the beloved Moon, the first Maria, and here are the headlines.
State of the VTuber community.
What happens now that VStream has finally ended service, with its community discords following suit a little while later? We have only a month until AuroraLiveVR SIF2 officially ends service. With the timer still ticking, what can we do to preserve its legacy moving forward? Takt Symphony ended service last 9 April. However, the legacy is still far from over. Let's have a look at what they have in store for the series. Our friends over at the Jungle Tavern has given us the newest batch of VTubers to debut as part of the first generation titled Sanguia. Who are they? and when will be their debut? Following recent backlash from the community as exposed by false ID through numerous claims from its ex-talents, China-based AuroraLiveVR has not surprisingly returned, provisioning its new audition form. But will it take off? We appreciate lurkers more than we do in the collective and beyond, but one seems to argue otherwise. What's the deal with @NuttyLMao? April has gone by, but we have some more on our plate. We got some summarized highlights covered by VTuber NewsDrop that we would like to share with you. April is the spirit of major improvements as we go along. As part of the VTuber Collective, the VTresMarias is handing out updates pertaining to it as well as other projects under its belt. And we have some more unrelated news to share that we thought might find it interesting.
State of the VTuber community is powered by YouTube and soon by Spotify for podcasters. This series is made possible by viewers and listeners like you. Thank you for making this series thrive more than ever.
This is our second episode here on YouTube as VStream ceased operations on 1 April. This is not an April Fool's, but rather an April Feels. But what exactly happened, you might ask? To recap, Eric Koslow, better known as Ijikan, has stipulated in the ADU that VStream has been losing ground as they failed to fundraise for their operational costs a few months leading to the cessation, that he has decided, with a heavy heart, to pull the plug on the platform. The announcement shocked the VTuber community as they lost another sanctuary to interact with the audience in creative ways. Part of it was the VTresMarias' achievements through the platform, which include the weekly 3-day writing streams migrated from Twitch, the story of the VTresMaria, and this series. Setting a tribute until the very end, Alistair and Bloody D, among others, have initiated a plan for fellow VTubers to do a relay where they send their audience to the next set of VTubers until the timer hits 0. Amidst of all that, the project was a success, but the VTresMaria had other plans. Utilizing what he had learned so far on the graphics side, he had devised a stream that thanked the platform for everything that they do, but midway was a bit shocking, at least looking from Bloody D's perspective. In any case, VTubers sent up the platform on a good note. As the timer hits 0, every functionality has been turned off, leaving the site with the ADU. Alistair, Bloody D, and Taimura Tora joined forces to form VStreamer Hub, now VStreamers Plaza, on the basis of preserving VStream's legacy following its closure. Initially, they used this platform to discuss the relay plans leading up to the cessation, but it has been used as a daily chatting and memorial sanctuary for former VStreamers. In addition, Himede, one of the first VStream partners, has provisioned a Twitch team titled VStreamers to allow anyone to wave the flag signifying the pride of VStream. To check out the current lineup, go to twitch.tv/team/VStreamers. There have been some shortcomings, however, thanks to lack of engagement over the platform over the recent weeks. Posted on 14 April, Alistair announced that he is stepping down as an admin, citing that he is no longer needed and that there would be better people to take that position. Bloody D clarified that they have come to a disagreement which resulted in his departure and that they offered him to return once he is ready. She has also laid out plans to invite more moderators to be a part of the team as a resolution. Eventually, Alistair did return as a moderator this time with a full transparency report which highlights from the migration from the VStream Discord to the internal shortcomings and server-wide resolutions and provisioning of new events. One such event that is almost beginning is the UNO tournament, in which its registration phase will be closed on 1 May. As announced by Ada back on 21 March, the Discord server will be RM-RF'd on 1 May at 12 AM PDT, which means that if you want to connect with fellow VStreamers and VTubers in general, you are now obliged to get to VStreamers Plaza moving forward. You can check out the server in question in the description after you listened to this edition.
State of the VTuber community.
We have only a month left before AuroraLive SAF2 ended service, months after it was first released. The Japanese edition pulled the plug a month earlier on 31 March at 3 PM JST. The global edition is the only remaining currently available, which is set to follow suit. If anyone can remember, Bushimo made an announcement via @RabuRaibu_SAF_GL on X that the game will be released on global edition in February and end service on 31 May, the so-called 80% speedrun according to PC Gamer. With the clock still ticking and our chances of playing the game already slim, what can we do to preserve the legacy moving forward? For the VTuber, he already has plans to promote the series in the form of a TV concept. You can check out the playlist in the description. How about you? What's your action to preserve the legacy of the series? You can engage in the discussion on X, or on either r/SchoolIdolFestival or r/RabuRaibu subreddit.
State of the VTuber community.
In another end-of-service news, DeNA has officially pulled the plug on the game Takt Symphony last 9 April at 2 p.m. UTC+8 after its Japanese counterpart ended service 2 hours earlier. In a statement, the operations team behind the game has deeply apologized to the players, conductors, for all the inconveniences, and that they stipulated that it's been almost a year since it was first released, on 28 June 2023. In any case, the team has thanked all who have been supporting the series since it was first launched, and looked forward to one day be reunited in some form. The English statement from the team can be viewed on X at @takt_symphony.
State of the VTuber community.
Our friends over at the Malaysia-based The Jungle Tavern has given us the 0th generation, Zazarak, where Regina Red is among the 4 who debuted starting from 12 October 2023. In actuality though, she debuted last 13 October of that year. This year, they'll be giving us a fresh new batch of VTubers to be a part of a large community in the form of first generation, Sanguia. Here are the following members with time zones set to MYT. Admiral Trina, who just debuted last 6 p.m. Spectre Arashi will be debuting on 1 May at 6 p.m. Rina Masaki will be debuting on 3 May at 8 p.m. And Shinju Ai will be debuting on 4 May at 8 p.m. Learn more about the agency on X at The Jungle Tavern. But hold on, did the name Trina catch your attention? More like, have you heard of Trina before? Well, we're happy to report that Admiral Trina is none other than Trina Duhot, one of the prolific voice actresses who you might recognize from a lot of her demo reels and some of your favorite manga channels, like Etra-chan Soet, Attack on Mika, and Kanon's rom-com mangas, where the latter of this category is the first Maria's focus for his other project, which we'll get to it later in the program.
State of the VTuber community.
After what has been months of restructuring its EN branch, the China-based AuroraLiveVR, also known as JG She, has returned with its new audition form in hopes of new talents to add to its talent slate, published 16 April. But as it would have predicted, many VTubers still hold disdain against the agency because of its alleged mishandling of its former talents, including AOS and the Third Maria, formerly the Snake Lady and Suzu respectively. To get you up to speed, here's some tidbits about the agency and the circumstances leading up to this ordeal. He Xiaotong and Usagi Ichigo started out AuroraLiveVR as an art studio before engaging in the VTubing business, taking up potential VTubers across China, leading to Serafina. With the help of now AOS, they geared up to introduce more VTubers to represent its EN slate, such as Hakaba Kayana, now Canaria, Asta Mehu, now Win Sera, Skydark, 1-2, and the Third Maria, formerly named Puyotori Sozu. As revealed by AOS, formerly the Snake Lady, and reported by False ID, internal fallouts mean that the responsibility is on her shoulders, convincing her to handle 20+ talents all at once. She also alleged, as outlined in some sources we previously obtained, that some talents had grudges on her, primarily Mehu, which worsened the internal fallout and had caused the majority of talents to abandon their affiliation with an excuse of health-related reasons. Most notable at hand, Suzu graduated just 18 days after she debuted on 26 Nov 2022, with the reins and experience handed over to the First Maria, which in turn became Emission. AOS went on to provision Jiang Atelier as a result of this fallout, which also becoming a full-time VTuber who debuted during the North American total solar eclipse last 8 April. In addition, models that are used by previous VTubers and previously owned by He Xiaotong has been added over to Jiang Atelier as adoptables, including Suzu's penguin model, which is still on the listing as of this report. In a quote repost dated 16 April, AOS, formerly the Snake Lady, has accused AuroraLiveVR of being a blacklist company, citing usage of models like disposables, horrible upper management, focuses only on income, and low-quality art. She also alleged that they copied their business model from Nichisanji, which according to recent reports is notorious for their business practices, which has been revealed following Tatsuki Salan's termination. Regarding low-quality art, the Third Maria, as Suzu, revealed as per our archived sources that during the time that she had received the illustration from one of ALVR's artists, she didn't realize until later that the said piece was an AI art, and has warned the First Maria not to utilize it in future promotionals. In response to AOS allegations, many ex-talents stepped forward, including Pius, Nyaoi, Gemuyo, and Zelvamist. Currently, AuroraLiveVR has not published any responses to these allegations and or negative reactions. Somehow, despite everything, ALVR is still thriving thanks to their only remaining talent named Akuma Mion, who's a part of INF Rhapsody. She is supposed to be accompanied by another talent named Shizukan Lilian, but she left the agency long ago. She has led the charge, taking in multiple collabs whenever she can, with the approval of her managers of course, and has recently taken a huge achievement on YouTube by provisioning channel memberships. Upon realizing the announcement from the agency, she initially joined the Lock Them Out bandwagon before clarifying a day later that despite these shortcomings, she has asked the public not to send any more hatred towards ALVR and its related and former parties, including Mion herself. In an already deleted post days later, she later rectified that it's her own doing to convince ALVR to reprovision the forum in hopes to introduce new talents to the table. To summarize, she has said that she is at fault for convincing the managers to adhere to her selfish request, causing the upheaval from the ex-talents as previously discussed.
State of the VTuber community.
On to the next news. We all know that viewers were the key figures that make up our audience, but what's inside the hood may be more different than you might think. You see, every viewer may not have the chance to interact proactively with a streamer, and we understood that some or even none of the viewers even interact at all. But they are still part of our community at large, finding ways to watch and support their streamers without even us noticing it. It's the job of the lurkers to watch their favorite streamer doing things behind the screen. Think of it like watching a TV show. You usually can't proactively interact with it, but your viewership is proving useful for the show's ratings. When more viewers, or lurkers, watch the show, the ratings grow. Same thing goes for VODs and streams. This has sparked a major discussion on lurkers now that in this day and age, many of the lurkers only take into account the amount of bots a platform has. Remember dogehype.com? Now regardless, we all appreciate our lurkers wherever they may be, even though they are not required to in any way. But it seems the way things were interpreted were not what they seem. Many of the so-called streamers, even those in the big time leagues, have been complaining about it at all. One even resorted to not acknowledging the viewers and lurkers at all, except if they were giving them monetary benefits like subscriptions and bits. And this streamer took it to the next level by quote-unquote insulting the community. In a post dated 14 April, Nutty Elmao sent out this following. Viewers who don't tell the streamer music is too loud, never clip funny moments, don't make memes, copy pastas, fan art, don't hang out in Discord, never remind streamer of outdated commands, aren't subbed and never donate, only lurk and never interact, you are cringe. Now what did we just say about the streamer not acknowledging just a moment ago? This one went through the same thing all over again, that the first Maria felt obligated to rant this out in the shortest way possible via alternative. Houston, we got a problem. A supplementary note here, as a viewer, you are not obligated in any way to subscribe, donate, or send bits either. Just following the streamer or lurking is enough. To make things rather different in an unsettling light, one of our fellow colleagues at VTuber NewsDrop reposted the said post. Okay, Jay, don't you dare! Anyhow, Nutty posted an apology 4 minutes after he published that post, saying that he thought he could get away with passing that off as his own post. But if the Marias were to react on this, the first Maria would say otherwise. But how would you react to it? Let us know through our social channels or the hashtag State of the VTuber Community.
This is the State of the VTuber Community's special segment.
News from VTuber NewsDrop.
Our colleagues over at VTuber NewsDrop has given us the scoop of some of the events that have happened this month. Let's have a look.
News from VTuber NewsDrop.
HeyYou, an IP of the Philippine-based brand new company, formerly Stun.gg, has announced the graduation of all its talents under the first generation Renegade. As per Jay's report, BNC cited financial challenges due to economic conditions. In a statement published 19 April, HeyYou also noted that following the graduation of all its talents in that generation, the members-only content will be made available as the profiles remain active for the foreseeable future. Renegade consists of the following: Jackie, Gemini, and Ruby.
News from VTuber NewsDrop.
Yuruka Yubi became the talk of the VTuber town after Asai Isa posted a logo study citing the idea of corporate logos in VTuber style, with the first being Pizza Hut, which caught the attention of several brands such as Razer, Asus ROG, and iBuyPower's Height. This also caught the attention of other VTubers, with @Orihime VT making a logo for Opera GX. Most notable at hand, Orihime was the artist behind GX Aura's logo. GX Aura is the mascot of the web browser. As brought up by @TripleKian, The main reason these studies were done was because they share the same font, Yoruka UB. As outlined by ICU in an interview, she lauded the font for its continuous flow of energy since it doesn't require much editing to make it look good. You can get the font on FontWorks, a Monotype affiliated service. Alternatively, you can use Lilita One, available on Google Fonts.
News from VTuber NewsDrop.
In another news, Kuho Ringo disclosed on 12 April that she will be graduating by the end of this month. SMEJ-based V Project reported in its press release. She has recently laid out her plans for her transition on the same day, citing that she desired to experiment in new initiatives due to a change of environment. She also stated that the decision was mutual between both parties, but still eager to collaborate with its current talent slate in the future.
News from VTuber NewsDrop.
In award news, Aphrodite's Black VTuber Awards is set to commence its voting period starting May and will last for a month. They are split into 5 main categories, which includes the following: Streamer Awards with YouTube VTuber, Twitch VTuber, and Black VTuber of the Year. Content category with Absolute Gamer, Cozy Content, Best Artist VTuber, and LewdTuber. Ally Awards with Guardian Award, Best VTuber Parents, Spectacular Support Award, and Cookout Award. Individual Icon with Most Congenial Award, Most Unique Design, and Breakout Talent. And Benevolent category, which has Committed Community, Radiant Raider, Collaboration Queen or King, and Charity Champion. The Black VTuber Awards recognizes all VTubers who are Black or POC, person of color, who have made a lasting impact across the VTuber community. To learn more about the event, go to their website at blackvtuberawards.com or X at @BVTAwards.
This is the State of the VTuber Community's special segment.
News from the Marias.
Our VTuber Collective VTresMarias has been working hard to provide meaningful content to everyone. On behalf of the Marias, the first Maria addresses what are the updates thus far. After some preparations and under construction moments, the website of the Marias is now ready as a progressive web app. As soon as the app is installed on the device, visitors will be treated to a slimmed down version of the website which still has the same functionality as its base one, but optimized for a smaller data footprint. In addition, more features will be synced between 2 layouts as they are being provisioned, with press releases up next on the roadmap. In response to this change, however, the Maria's web pages will be given a new makeover to adhere to the new design language inherited from the first Marias. In essence, they will be rebuilt from the ground up, still with the same spirit as they once were before the provisioning took place. For more updates, look out for the hashtag #VTresMarias and or #V San Rino Maria. Next up, the first Maria laid out his plans for his so-called alternative Emision. Following the initial stream of story writing with regards to its new lore, Regents, the plan is to integrate most of its Evertell content as it will become its own Evertell hub full of updates and playthroughs. In addition to this, it has introduced one of the game's characters, King Arthur, as Arthur Regina Lidram, forming the duo Reginas. In another case, the website will also undergo redesigning, adhering to the same design language as the Maria's PWA version. For more updates regarding that, check out Emi's X at @Emision. In another update from the first Maria, he also laid out plans for his other VTuber persona, Sumioi Sakura. In a post dated 24 April, he has laid out plans which includes the following: a new and improved website, branching away from the old one; a new lore, branching away from the original doujinshi the character is originally based from; regular manga video reviews which may be posted on a weekly basis; voice acting sessions, which is different from Aga ASMR. Despite all this, the main branding logo will remain as is. It's also worth noting that it also has its own publishing arm called the Sumioi Publications, formerly Sumioi Publishers Pact, due to re-release as part of the debut. Sumioi Sakura was first introduced as part of Mary Jane's animation Ojo-sama Yomeri Koso, also known in English as Ladies' Matrimony Rivalry, and is voiced by Yodogawa Yuka, first published 5 October 2012. It's based on the light novel of the same name by Tsukino Otogi with illustrations by Yuyi. It has since been reintroduced as part of the first Maria's slate since September 2021 and converted to a VTuber presence on 24 August 2023.
State of the VTuber Community.
Finally, in replacement to the already retired monthly VStream updates, here's a new topic segment called In Other News. Let's have a look at other topics that haven't given much detail, but deserve to be in the spotlight. After 40 years in service, plus suspension, the world-renowned Hugh Edwards has officially resigned from the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, on 22 April 2024. As reported by its news arm, Hugh has resigned on the basis of medical advice following his row alleged by The Sun UK last July 2023, which was later revealed by his wife, Vicky Flint. He has led the news through its most important events since his inception as a trainee in 1984, but went up the ranks throughout the years before anchoring then BBC News 24. Later on, he became the anchor of News at 6 and stayed at BBC's flagship News at 10. Some of the most notable events he has anchored were the wedding of Prince William and Princess Kate, UK general elections 2019, the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and the coronation of His Majesty King Charles III. 27 April 2024 marked as a special day as the Ortega Project, #MamNewsSquad, and VTresMarias celebrate the birthday of the endless magic Sirai Sineon. She has just turned 28 years old. She initially debuted as part of Marina Blue in 2016 before joining Taz, Altruism, Love Spias, and Na Na Na. Both the first Maria and Emmanuel Ortega, the latter being the current general manager of the Dead or Alive Collective and the founder of his own, have shared their thoughts and well wishes for the idol. They can be heard on the first Maria's VOD of DOA XVV session 379. Although we heard from Emmy that he will be provisioning another letter with regards to his day, which will be posted on #MamNewsSquad's website. Princess Connect Redive EN is commemorating its full year since its cessation at 1 AM UTC. The shutdown has met with criticism with regards to Crunchyroll's management since handing over the reins from Cygames for its English localization in parts due to its promotion of the anime series. The first Maria has composed Until We Meet Again Astraya and released 2 days after the cessation. So far, the Marias have no plans to commemorate further as the game continues to live on via the original Japanese edition.
State of the VTuber community.
It has been a hectic month full of uncertainties, but we sure got something to take us throughout the day. Before we go, we're just a few months away before the podcast release, so we'll be giving some extra time to rewrite the previous episodes to be recorded for this purpose. It will be published everywhere through Spotify for podcasters. Do you have the scoop that impacts the VTuber community and beyond? Let us know on X via the hashtag #StateOfTheVTuber community. Thank you so much for your continuous patronage, and we'll see you in the next edition. This has been the first Maria for the April edition of the State of the VTuber community.
This has been another monthly edition of State of the VTuber community.
State of the VTuber community.
Thoughts on this edition? Use the hashtag State of the VTuber community on your social networks. You can also listen to the past editions on YouTube and major podcast providers powered by Spotify for podcasters. The live edition will still remain. Go check it out on YouTube at the Beloved Moon.
State of the VTuber community.